Oh,
That's interesting.
I'm not kidding.
All right, we're on. Everything's up and
Okay.
going. We have our new video, our new whatever.
Oh,
They
really?
redid the whole
Video, whatever.
recording thing. Not the hearing, the video part for YouTube. They redid all that, so fingers crossed, we
Okay.
don't have any problems.
All right, everyone, we are on the clock. Clock is ticking, so I will open this meeting of the DeKalb County Commissioners. Today's date is December 16th, 2024. Good morning, Dottie. Here we go.
Good morning. Well, we'll quickly go through some things. On IPEP, our work comp, we only have 4 open cases right now. They're all at the sheriff's office. We have the one that is still open from October of 2020, but everyone else is from this year and actually fairly recent since August. So things are moving off of those, which is always a good thing. And I will let Morgan go ahead and talk about what we have with recruiting and our hiring.
So community corrections still needs a part-time weekend and a full-time night shift officer. The last time I talked to them, they were doing interviews and they think they found some good candidates. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from them. Sunny Meadows needs a part-time weekend third shift and a bookkeeper, but we are doing interviews for the bookkeeper today. And then the prosecutor still needs a deputy prosecuting attorney. And that's it.
That's it? Okay. That's not too bad.
The clerk's office has some retirements at the end of this year, so, but we're unsure yet if they're going to need to replace any of those people. We'll have another one retiring at the end of January. So the 2 part-timers, pretty much the projects that they were doing have come to a close. So it's good timing, especially with the change in administration over there. So we have those, but we're not sure where we're standing, recruiting wise. So something, I've been working on evacuation procedures for the employee safety manual. And then that brought up, I've told you about the rabbit trails that takes me down. We have an emergency and evacuation plan actually on the intranet that now I am needing to review. We had, let's see, it was from 2021, but still we have a few things that need to be revised. I checked with Jason Meeks, and he has given me full reign to go ahead and make the changes that we need. If we have different places now that people are meeting, with the new highway department, and then also with the with community corrections, having some new things happening and still unclear where change is going to be. So anyway, that's another project that I have gotten myself into. Then let's talk, the most important thing that I sent you last week was regarding a conversation that HR had with our health plan. And regarding the amount of money that we have spent on pharmaceuticals for the first year of our plan year, and we paid $948,841 for the first year of the plan, which is, we spent a lot, but then our employees probably spent a lot also. On the different medications that they're all prescribed. We're trying to figure out some things with the health plan. Okay, are there tips, are there tricks, that our employees can use to find better pricing? Because our health plan tells us that the pharmacy benefit manager has negotiated rates, and but of course rates are different at different stores. So sometimes you just have to shop around. So anyway, but I thought it was really interesting, the type of prescriptions that we have. The number one, the anti-inflammatory drugs that there are, and that 5 members of our group spent $423,601 of that $9,408. You know, that is like, wow, that's a lot of anti-inflammatories.
Half, almost half.
Yeah. So, you know, we've got the anti-inflammatory conditions. We've got the next one being diabetes with 40 members. And when I say members, that is employees' dependents. So, you know, spread over all of those. And then that only leaves $280,000 over 18 other conditions that, you know, that were tracked. So those two are the highest. We'll just have more conversations about what we can do, how we can educate our employees. We do have a formulary list that an employee could take to their doctor to ask the doctor to, you know, prescribe maybe something different. I'm sure by now most of our employees will tell their doctors, and doctors are, well, the generic will work just as well. Generics are cheaper, that is true. But we just need to figure out, okay, and it's not all on our employees. You have to think, the pharmaceutical companies are making a lot of money. Yes, there are a lot of bills that they pay for marketing. There's a lot of bills that they pay to create the drugs, that they feel that by charging a certain amount goes back into their operating costs. And so it's not all our employees, but we, as an employer, what can we handle? What can we fix? What can we do about our own costs? So definitely looking at that ahead of time for us to, you know, make some changes then next year. So anyway, opening it up for discussion, because it's a lot of money, So.
What is the anti-inflammatory drug usually? What's the cause of the need for that drug?
I don't know all of it. It could be, you know, arthritis. It, you know, there's a lot of arthritis, or maxoskeletal sorts of things. You have joints, you have bones. So those issues that we have. Other than that, I don't know what else that there is. There could be some chronic illnesses also that have, you know, that are a pain management sort of thing.
What's the copay on prescription drugs?
Well, that varies depending on what tier that it
tier
goes
it
to.
is.
So if it's, you know, if it's the cheap one, is about $10. You know, so we have some drugs that are free.
Yeah. What's the
but-
tier 3 drugs?
They're,
Okay. You know?
yeah, they're closer to 200. Yeah. Yeah. Close, about 200. Yeah.
Really?
You know, what's interesting is every drug I've ever obtained or my wife has ever obtained, let's say our copay is 20 and Surest pays 100.
Yeah.
I can go on GoodRx and buy the drug flat out for 40. Why does our insurance pay 100 and I pay 20 for a total 120 when GoodRx, you show that and you get it for 40? I don't understand it.
Yep.
And there's got to be kickbacks or something going on that we're not participating in.
And that is definitely something that I haven't, you know, I have put out. What about the rebates?
Yeah,
You know, are we getting all the rebates that we should be, especially as a self-insured entity?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely one thing that I would like to see a little more robust. I've done the same thing. I've gone in with the GoodRx thing, but anytime it's usually been cheaper with my insurance. So,
Cheaper for you or the
Cheaper
cheaper
for
total?
me.
Yeah,
Cheaper for
that's what
me.
I'm saying. It's,
You know, yeah,
But it's
yeah.
still double cost,
yeah,
and I don't understand that process. It seems to me that, I don't know. It's just very baffling to me. I'd like to know where the
yeah.
money really goes.
yeah, where does the
And I'm
money go?
not saying this is something you should have to figure, this is our,
I know, yeah.
our problem, but I just,
Yeah.
amazing to me that I pay 120, insurance pays 100, but I could have bought the whole thing for 40. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I know. It's all baffling. The whole industry is baffling.
Yeah.
And so, but I really wanted us to get a feel for just what's happening,
Sure.
you know, with this, so that we can hopefully be in a better spot for negotiating next year. Well, you know, coming up, because before you know it, we will be looking, you know, we'll have the broker looking at what else is out there. And I've already spoken with the broker about, she asked me, well, how happy are we with Surest? And I said, it depends who you're asking. we have some employees who are thrilled to pieces that, you know, their co-pays are really great. They're not shelling out as much money for doctor appointments and for prescriptions. And then we have other employees, you know, who are the customer of the month, and not a good thing, with things that have been declined and customer service. And it's like, okay, I don't know how happy we are, but I would like for us to keep an open mind and look at, you know, we need to keep looking. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but at least, you know, having the information, we're armed. Yeah, we know what it is. So anyway, not much else I can tell you besides what I, you know, in my report to you. So,
Yeah, that was that's quite the report that
eye-opening, yeah.
emailed to us. I was kind of dumbfounded at first at the numbers, honestly.
I know,
Like, it's crazy.
I know, yeah.
Anyway, anything else, Dottie?
Well, I think that's about it. We're, you know, we've got the winding down of the year. We're waiting for Lau to get back with us on the review of our Affordable Care Act numbers that we provided to them. What else do we have going on? Oh, yes, for the safety stuff, we are looking at winter safety trainings. Morgan has looked into IPEP and to the other training package portal that we have to see what other information we can pass on to our employees to keep them safe, both while they're working and while they're doing fun things outside of work. And we do have set, and I sent everyone a message about when we will have our safety committee meetings for next year. So, you know, we're continuing to roll with that. We think that keeping safety in the minds of everyone, you know, if you keep that, then hopefully you start creating a culture of safety, and people just by osmosis start doing things that are safer and trying to, you know, keep them on the job and not off on a work comp claim.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Yeah. Anyway, anything else? Good. Okay.
Nothing here.
Well, happy Christmas.
Okay,
If I don't see you guys, hey.
Yeah.
it's coming fast. Okay. You want to jump over with Rhonda?
Where you want to do it, it's fine.
Yeah, let's do that. Rhonda, come on up. We'll get a little head start here.
Morning.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Oh. That's good. I don't have any of that turned
IT's ahead of you.
Good.
Maybe.
So the purpose of this meeting today is so that I can let you know that our white crosses that are displayed out by the cannon during Memorial Day are dilapidated. They're starting to look worn and show their age. And so this year, when Larry was putting those crosses out, he brought it to my attention, Rhonda, these crosses are looking a little rough. And maybe we need to have a plan or an idea of how to move forward in the future with getting the crosses replaced. So I went ahead and took some photographs so you can kind of see how they are displayed around the cannon. And we've got a couple here in person, a couple of crosses here that we can show you. So these crosses represent the wars and the conflicts that the United States has been involved in. And we've done this for, Larry, many years where we display the white crosses. And so you can see that one in the back. You can barely see the stencil of the year of that particular cross. So there are 12 crosses altogether. And we have one large one right there that says all wars, unknown dead, and that's our big cross. And so anyways, what I did then as an action, Larry bringing it to my attention that we need the crosses discussed. We just need to have a discussion about the crosses and the fact that it's going to be getting to a point where it's going to be time to replace the crosses. And so then what I did was I reached out to 4 people that I thought would be possible good candidates to build some new crosses, because you can't just go out and buy these crosses.
Rhonda.
And so inside this wrapping, Larry, what is inside that wrapping? Is it a piece of wood? 2x4s. And so now they've been wrapped and they were stenciled. And so that is a replica.
Oh, okay. Pins falling out. Is that just white wood? I mean, the wood, the 2x4 is just white wood. Do you think? Mm-hmm. How old are those?
They wrapped in vinyl? I couldn't tell. Are those aluminum?
Aluminum.
Aluminum.
Yeah, they're dinted. You can see the dents in them.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah, they are aluminum.
yeah. Okay, I see it there now too.
One.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah,
Just
just
wrapped in-
2x4s that wrapped in aluminum. Taking a beating, haven't they?
They serve their purpose and they're tired.
Yeah.
Is I reached out to 4 different people to get some estimates. And with that, 2 of them came back and said, you know what, I would be willing to consider doing this project for the county. So I'm going to let Mark come on up here with me and talk. Mark is a DeKalb County resident, and Mark has his own woodworking shop over in Avila. And so he gave me a quote, and I'm going to go ahead and pass that out. Would use and how you would
Basically, they're going to be the same as 2x4. The only difference is going to be done in poly. And
Got mic on.
same stuff they use. This is poly. So this is the same stuff they use in poly furniture. Basically, we're going to make the same size. We're going to, your choice, if you want to engrave them, the dates, or if you want them to be vinyl on. It's a permanent vinyl, permanent routing. We'll paint them, they'll paint the lettering black on the inside and do the same thing. On the back of it, to hold it, we could put the rods back in it, but the only problem is we got to be careful that they don't pound them down because it's going to be there. So either we put a stake on the back side of it and then screw it into it and do it that way. That is the only other way we could do it. But this is the material that we're shooting for if you want to see it and do.
With that, yeah. Probably the stake on the back would be the best idea, wouldn't it?
That would probably be the best, and then what they could do is pound the stake in, get
Right.
it where do you need to do, put the screw in, or somehow fasten it to the back, do it that way,
I agree.
and do. If you go through the bottom, I think that's a lot of the problem there was, when they turn around, put the stakes in the bottom, they push it down, eventually cracked the wood, the moisture went up through it, and eventually started rotting it out.
That stake would need a tab coming out horizontally, right? In order to pound on the tab if they needed to.
It'd be basically like a garden stake. So it'd be a small little stake, flat. I haven't found one yet. I'm looking for that point, but I wasn't diving that far into it until I made for sure we was doing it.
Yeah.
I did get the material for the cross, but if it doesn't work, I can take it back. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, because
So-
we wouldn't want them pounding on the top of that cross.
Do not want them to be pounding. I don't
Because
care
that's
if
gonna
it's,
take
to be all
those
right,
screws.
they shouldn't be pounding on those there either.
Mhm.
So, on that, because that's basically probably what started touring it down. So, on that part. And then you won't be able to get them, well, you said during Memorial Days and all that, but yeah.
There's two papers here, Rhonda. What's the email one? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is a totally different quote then. Okay, we can do
Yeah.
that later then. That's fine. I just.
Yep, so he
right.
may come on in here, I think it's just about 8 minutes before 9, and we
Okay.
got started a little early, and that's okay.
Yeah, we can-
But you can see from his estimate, Bill's estimate, different, but different materials. You know, the PVC, Larry and I talked about the PVC. Larry, will you come up here and talk a little bit about the PVC? It's a different type of approach.
I think it would last through the weather. I mean, rain, anything like that.
Mhm.
I mean, I've used it for the flower boxes and stuff like that, and it seems to hold up pretty good.
PVC,
Yeah.
yeah,
Versus,
the vinyl.
Pretty much what Mark provided. What Mark provided for me was exactly what I asked. Could you give me an idea how I could duplicate these
Right.
12 crosses? And he did that. But this particular veteran was thinking outside the box. And he came back, and I didn't even think about PVC, and he came up with that. And I said, well, that's a God wink. Maybe we should look at it from another angle as well. Ultimately, it will be your decision. But I wanted you to know, with the research we've done, Larry and I, those were the two quotes that came back, and so, good information.
Mark would be engraving the dates on them.
Mark, would you be able? Yes.
There is a difference in the number of crosses.
There is.
So the second quote,
So there should be a total of 12.
that would not be accurate, would it?
So on both quotes, it's 12 crosses total. You see that, Bill?
Oh, one's 32 by 48, right?
Right, that's the big one.
Okay.
Yes. And there's 12 there. The other one, it says 7. 3.5 by 10. What is, no, yeah. Well, that's the materials for the crosses. That's just a
Right,
material
that's the
list,
materials,
not a cross list.
cross.
Yeah, that's the material list bill, I think.
Yeah. I got it now.
Now, the next question we need to talk about is funding to purchase and pay for these crosses. I wanted to ask very humbly, would you be able to absorb the cost of the replacement of the crosses? I don't have that in my budget, and I was hoping that that could come out of the commissioner's budget. Something to consider as well.
Problem with that.
No.
How would the cheaper cross be secured to the ground?
And that's why I need my,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
wait and
Yeah.
get those answers.
yeah, if you don't mind, we could wait just a few minutes for,
No, that's fine.
okay.
Okay, yeah, let's put that on the hold for now.
Okay.
Let's do a couple preliminary things here. Can you hit the button on this, Larry?
Oh, you don't like that?
It's kind of bright. Hey, thank you, Larry. Okay. Let's jump over and do payroll, pay the hardworking help.
Make a motion to approve payroll?
I will second that motion. Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Payroll is approved. Claims. Any questions on claims, Todd?
Nope.
I had one, and then I think I figured out the answer. And that was Three Rivers Barricade for the highway. $91,312
What?
bucks. Three Rivers Barricade
Oh.
for highway.
Mm-hmm.
91,000. And wow, that's a lot for signs, but I think Ben and I had a conversation. He did not order signs till after the move. So he ran the stock low, so he didn't have to move all these signs.
Yeah.
So he's caught up with the sign purchase.
Yeah, the signs that we put on the roads
Yeah.
that they build and.
Yeah, the road signs.
Right, yeah.
Everything, barricades, whatever it might be. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was why it was so much. He
Yeah. We have a nice little sign shop out there.
coming double bought.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, yeah, that's all I had. Motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the claims.
I will second that motion. Comments?
Mike?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same. Motion is approved. Hi, Mike. Still. Yeah. You want up, Larry? Yeah, come on up, Larry.
Wanted to talk to you about the benches.
No.
I put one together so we could look at it. I went down and talked to the trophy shop about the plaques. And he gave me two different options. Of course, I like one better than the other. They would engrave this, whatever we wanted to put on it.
What size would it be?
We can make it whatever we want.
Okay. All right. That material there?
That's the material that it would be. And it's supposed to be resistant, I guess.
Okay.
Got brass, you think?
Pardon?
Brass?
No, it's just, that's just his card. This is what it is.
Oh, this is what it is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not that, that's just his business card. Just, it'll be black like that and it'll be white when he does it, it'll be white lettering. That's one option. Here's option number two.
I like that.
That's
That's permanent.
yeah, that's my,
Yeah, I'm not,
That seems pretty cheap there.
I was actually thinking about something more like the business card.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's where I was at.
Right.
So with this, you can make it black with colored letters and a colored surrounding. It would be this, like this here. But the inside of it would be black to match the bench.
Okay, what would the border be?
It'd probably be like this here.
Like that?
Yeah.
Black and gold?
$100. He said that's a guesstimate on how much you put on it. And
Would there be a reason why you wouldn't leave it that color?
he
Black in
said,
it?
he said he could do it this color as well. But I think, me again, my personal opinion, that the courthouse stand out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I like that. I was just thinking not changing
Can I see that?
to the black.
I was gonna put it over.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's,
I'd
I
like to
thought
see,
maybe that might
Stand out.
stand out on the bench.
I'd like to
versus-
see one in the black.
that's a nice color right there.
It is.
That's a nice contrast.
I think that would stand out more than if there was black put in it.
Oh, I agree. I like this.
That size fit?
And if it's flat. So he said we could do 8 inches, I think that's 12 inches there. But it's the same price.
Oh, okay.
He said, where your expense comes into the lettering, and it's 42 cents. lettering. But he gave me he said ballpark it would be $100
$100.
for a plaque.
So the height-wise would be about same as that to fit
About
on
same
there.
as this.
The length could be,
We could go 8 inches or stick with that.
I see, as long as it didn't stick in your back when you lean. Corners there. I assume
Well-
since it's curved there, it won't.
That's what I was thinking, since it's rolled at that
Yeah.
point, most people don't sit all the way.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you'd be
goes your
okay.
back.
Let's disassemble Bill's, stick it on there and see how it looks.
Well, we can do yours.
Yeah, you can do mine, that's fine, yeah. Yeah.
But I feel that,
Yeah, I think this would look nice.
and what I want to do is I want to make sure that if we're doing it, they're all the same, instead of
Yeah.
you going and buying one and I go buy one and whoever goes, and then you got all these different, if we do all the same, it's
What do you think about, how would you fasten that?
I would probably rib it, is what I'm thinking, instead of screwing it, because if you put a screw into it, you know how kids are, and
It'd have
they
to be
would
the
be trying to,
it'd have to be the tamper-proof.
yeah. I think that would be, and you could get something that would, I'm thinking you could get like a brown,
You could also JB weld it to it. I mean, what, that, you JB weld that on there, it isn't going anywhere.
yeah.
Yeah, some really good epoxy.
And it'd be a
Yeah.
nice clean look then, just
Then
make
you
sure you
wouldn't
get it
have
on
that.
straight the first time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, and where do you put the screw?
Yeah, I know,
That it
that's,
doesn't kind of
You could
intrude
glue
on
it
the.
on,
Yeah, the JB weld might be,
Yeah.
or good
the-
outdoor
a good-
epoxy.
yeah.
Yeah.
P6000.
Oh, that's good stuff.
You can't,
Yeah,
once that's on, it's on.
yeah, that's what I would recommend, is just glue them on. Then spend the next 3 days getting the glue off your fingers.
Or wear gloves.
Yeah, yeah, that's too easy.
what do you think?
I like the idea of that plaque there. I would go that route if I was gonna plaque it.
Okay, is that a motion?
My motion would be, well, I guess we're not gonna order them right now, but because we don't know what they're gonna say.
Right.
But my
Right.
motion would be to make this the standard template for the.
Standard
or For
template.
the signs we're gonna use, yeah.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, motion and second on the floor, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That's the plaque.
okay.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Lynn.
Anything else while I'm here?
I think we're good.
We're just going to go back to the crosses.
So, okay, real quick though, are you guys gonna decide, like, is there gonna be a specific wording with whoever's name, or are you gonna decide that later?
No, I think, because that could be different, the wording. I mean, if they served in a different capacity, they might want different wording on there, plus the name. So I think, yeah, whatever, because it's by the letter.
Okay.
Because somebody could want it in memory of, or
Right.
someone could want, like, I mean, they could still be alive.
Add
or-
something
or-
else.
You know what I mean?
Okay, I just clarifying.
And that would be, I would also want to put this, that would be an expense to whoever purchases bench, not,
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
And I'm thinking the size, the
I
length,
think that's perfect size.
because it really is limited on the
Yeah.
space for wording.
Well, like when you look at your name on there, Bill, I mean, that fills that up pretty
Yeah,
good.
pretty quick. So yeah, I'd say that length is probably
So
the
they
way to
might only be able to do one name.
One name and something underneath it, you know, or, yeah, I think there's enough room.
Versus unless,
Unless they
Well, I'm sure
made,
they could use different size.
Yeah, do different
fonts on
font,
there
yeah.
anyway, so.
Because they charge by the letter, though, you said.
Yes.
So it's up to them how much they want to spend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Because it does need to fit on that back bracket there, because like I said, the curvature.
yeah,
And it'd be a nice clean look, too.
yeah.
Not too many words, not, you know, just,
Okay,
I like it.
sounds good.
That's a good idea.
Thanks, Larry.
Yep.
Okay, back to the crosses. Yes, ma'am.
So I have my other individual here, Bill. He's a veteran, and so Bill, I'm going to have you come up here with me if you don't mind. And we'll talk a little bit about what you have as far as materials and your vision on how to replicate the process. So the commissioners asked me, how could we get the PVC cross secured to the ground?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I never really thought about it, but, you know, there's plenty of ways to do it with some, I said some stakes that you could mount to the back side of it. You know, probably, 2-foot stakes. Something to get down in there.
Is the PVC a hollow core?
No, it's solid.
It is a
PVC.
solid core.
Yeah, it's solid PVC.
What do they use it for generally at Menards?
Exterior, things on trimming houses. And,
Gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
casing windows. And,
Yeah.
and any beams. There's one side smooth and one side has a like a wood grain.
Yeah.
A rough look, like a rough sawn cedar.
Gotcha.
Great material for this, I would think.
So the same concept, you could drive a stake in the ground and then just screw the stake to the PVC.
You could do that if you had a bump out on the stake that
Or-
you could
yeah.
put your foot on and push it in.
Yeah, and
I
then
think that
just,
would be handy rather than screw, if you keep screwing them in and out, it's going to wear the screw holes out.
yeah,
So yeah, a stake with some kind of a L-shaped foot coming out on it.
Yeah.
yeah, you
So
just
you either
lever
tap it into
in.
the ground or put your foot on it and push it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I didn't think about that actually, but I was just thinking about building the crosses. But yeah, you do have to anchor it to the ground. And it's only 1 inch thick. So, and I don't know, it may actually come in thicker material.
I was going to say
But
1
you-
inch
If
when you
it came in
cross.
thicker
when you-
material, you could do this rebar, if you could find it in thicker, but I'm not sure that you can.
Are you going to half lap those, that 1
Yeah,
inch thick?
yeah, you'd half lap them and then glue them with like premium glue.
Mm-hmm. So it's only going to be a half inch, unless you can find thicker material, it's only going to be a half inch thick at that lap where they cross?
Yeah, half-inch thick at the lap, right.
You can glue a couple together.
But once you glue it together, it's almost like it's still all 1 inch.
Mm-hmm.
And premium glue is I've done it for outside columns at Sycamore Hills, their gazebo.
Mm-hmm.
We use that on half giant columns, and that stuff doesn't move. It's phenomenal product for exterior, and once it's glued, you're not going to break it loose. You'll destroy the material before it comes apart. So.
Mm-hmm.
As far as ground out, all I do is
Shove them. They go right in.
Not your typical clay out there everywhere else is. huh?
Yeah, okay. That's good to know. Not that I would say you're just going to beat on them or anything. I'm not insinuating that. But if somebody else happens to, well, I'll go put those crosses up, they take a hammer with them and, you know.
The other thing to do would be to stick a permanent PVC tube in the ground and then have a stake in the, or just have something project out the bottom and just set it in place.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then someone could grab it and take it away, but someone could also grab one and just walk away with it by pulling it. Just something to think about if you put the tubes, if you knew where they were gonna be, you put them in permanently, really.
And then slide inside that tube.
Just slide inside the tube.
You have to keep the tube cleaned out.
You have to keep tube clean, that's true. I like the way you think. I never
can
think of
plug it.
maintenance. That's Larry's problem.
You want a hydrovac next to clean the
Yeah,
tubes out.
hydrovac to clean the tubes. Oh boy, this is getting expensive now.
No, you're not getting
Guess it's just use the
a
stakes.
hydrovac. Okay, yeah, let's, what do you guys, which way you want to go on this, I guess, is. we can,
Well, the other crosses would be a little thicker. Of course, they're gonna be 5 times the money. I don't know. Like the engraving. Vinyl ones. What's your thoughts, Bill? I like both ideas.
Mike, what do you think?
He wasn't here earlier. The first gentleman,
Well, how's where's going on this one, on the PVC?
that's what I was gonna ask. How would we, what, we have 2 quotes. One's for $1,540 to redo our crosses. We have 12 of them. One gentleman,
That's for all 12.
yeah, his idea is to take, like, they build furniture out of the, it's a composite material, kind of like decking.
Yeah.
You know, build furniture out of it, and he would engrave the dates on it for us, $1,540. The other gentleman here, $250 to do them all with PVC that they use to trim houses out, but then we got to put letters on it. That, or
Would those be
numbers.
painted on, the letters?
Yeah, that's all I could find for this size. Now, another option, all I could find was like, because I thought it'd be awesome to get like lettering that's already
Yeah.
lettered.
Mhm.
But I couldn't find anything 3 inches. Everything is 4 inches. So, which won't fit. So, another option would be they do sell the PVC in 5.5, which would make it, of course, a wider cross. But I don't, know if that would be too wide. But then you could actually buy the letters that are already pre-made and just screw them on. And then actually you would be done. You would never have to paint them or do any of that stuff. I always try to think of all the maintenance that goes into some of this.
You could do this type of thing too, Bill. A little expensive, but glue that onto there, it'd never wear out. It wouldn't even have to be this big, you know.
No, it's just the date, the year on
The
it.
deer on there, something to think about. That'd last forever also.
Mhm.
Kind of expensive.
I imagine trophy shops probably had half a dozen different options,
Yeah, we just voted for
yeah.
these for our benches
Right.
to take this
Yeah.
and, yeah, I could do
but they've
something.
got some other things that aren't
Well, what about,
quite as
Yeah.
expensive.
Oh,
as-
you
what
were here
about
for that, I'm sorry.
other option that he had given for the benches? What about that material? Glued, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That could be used too for the
Glued
cross since
on.
it's, especially since it's only out there, you only do it during Memorial Day, right? Yeah, for 2 weeks probably or a month? Okay, 2 weeks. So, yeah, that would be fine too. That cheaper material would be fine, in my opinion. Because it's not out there 24/7,
That
365.
lasts
That'd
forever.
look nice too, rather than
Yeah, stencil.
screwing letters on. or
Yeah.
Stencil or
Yeah,
whatever.
it
'Cause
won't
then you
look like
got-
a mailbox.
Well, you gotta lay them all out.
Right.
Yeah.
How much is that option there, Larry? What was that? 25. So 25 times 12, $300.
$100.
300 and 250 is 550.
550.
And yeah, but that should be pretty, I mean, $10 each or something, I would think would get you a steak.
Yeah.
Or we can just have, you can just hold them for us out
Right.
I don't know. I like the idea of the 250 and 300 for the plaques.
Yeah, I kind of do too. We got a veteran who wants to
Veteran
donate
donate
his
work, I
time. I
appreciate
don't know
that.
how we can refuse that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay.
And if we do the
Or
engraving, then
PVC.
they look real classy
Yep.
too, so,
Yeah, I'm thinking the PVC and let the veteran build them for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate your service.
Then he would do the letters,
Yeah, and then we would handle the lettering through the trophy shop. That way you wouldn't have to mess with it.
then
And you can glue those on.
Yeah, I think that would be neat.
Yeah.
Glue those on.
Yeah, I glue them on.
Just glue them right to it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
What do you think, Larry?
Okay, and put that in a motion?
Yeah, I'd make the motion to accept Bill's offer on building us PVC crosses for roughly 250 or whatever the materials are, and also to have the trophy shop make the plaque for him.
I'll second that.
Paid from lighted,
Yeah, I think.
from your commissioners lighted?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Comments? Mm-hmm.
Withstand the winds
Yeah.
in the spring.
I think you'd be okay.
Yeah.
This stuff isn't real light. It's fairly heavy. It's as heavy as that other material, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got a 20-year warranty, so.
Yeah, 20-year warranty. Yeah.
Okay, a motion. We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Oppose, same. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate Mark's quote also.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate the quote. Well, that's good.
Okay. Let's get into the minutes, approval of the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
Yeah.
We have a motion second to approve minutes of comments. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Motion carries. Miscellaneous topics. Clerk, microvote agreement.
Is that service contract we do on the machines?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it the service contract or is it the purchase of the machines themselves this time?
Oh,
Oh,
this, I didn't read it.
I thought it was the purchase of the machines and then there's a separate agreement that is for the servicing and maintenance.
okay.
of them.
Yeah, this is the,
When I reviewed it anyway.
yeah, this is the 84 new Infinity machines that she has to get because software or something, I don't know, something's changing and she has to get them. It's already been, money-wise, it's already been approved by council. They knew that it was coming.
Was this I assume this, well, I just don't know, but like the recorder's office has the ability to not have to get quotes and do all that, stuff.
I
This
think
may
she
be
only
the only
has one
type of machine.
option.
Yeah, only one option. So I was just gonna ask that, whether there was any quotes required, but.
So we're replacing all 84 machines?
We have to.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah, like they tell
No
her,
kidding.
you have to replace these.
And they probably tell her what she has to use, maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember the reason, but yes, she's required to do it.
It added back to the paper.
Boy, that'd be a shame, wouldn't it? Maybe we could know the result. Well, if we do a good job, our results are out bang. Other states, how does it take 2 weeks to count votes? I don't. Or a month now, or 2 months.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, so our clerk does a great job.
So for the record, what are those numbers?
So it is
Be cheap.
84 machines. The total is $235,661.44. and we're able, this, you guys don't need to know about this, but the county's able to pay it into, like, half in 2 years in a row. I mean, we're still paying the full amount, but half this year and half next year.
How long did those machines, not that it matters, I guess, but how long did those machines last time? Do you know? Are they 20 years old?
Yeah,
10?
Oh, no, they're not that
And
old.
they're still good, actually. It's just a matter of, we got to make that switch.
Yeah.
We're in the wrong business. We need to be
I
in the
know it.
forced,
Let's
must
go.
buy our product business. Well, I guess there's nothing we have to have them. And you're good with the contract, correct?
I was looking, for some reason I have down how long the contract is for. That's got to be I must have mistyped that. There's some requirements. Yes, I would say overall, yes, I'm fine so long as it is the only option, like single source type thing. The contract automatically renews for the renewal of the maintenance contract.
Right.
So the question is, what is it renewing? Because you're purchasing.
So this purchase one is in effect until December 31st of '26.
Yeah.
Then it would automatically renew for the service part of it, because this is, it's got the maintenance agreement in here that will
Oh, the maintenance
cover-
agreement is already in it. That's why it's automatic. Okay.
Yeah, the services that it's providing is software installation, training to county personnel, special election day emergency repair services, maintenance agreement, maintenance agreement, the annual maintenance that covers both the election management software and Infinity firmware upgrades and enhancements during the period of that.
Is there a flat rate on that?
It's all in it.
It's all in the original, or the,
There's annual maintenance fees. I don't know, are those disclosed anywhere? I mean, I guess you're just stuck with it because we have to buy this equipment. But
I remember, wasn't the yearly maintenance on them, we pay it yearly even though the election's only,
yeah,
and I think it was like 12 grand or something,
this,
or maybe 8,000, it's 8 or
eight
12,000.
comes to my mind.
8,000 sound right? Is that number in there anywhere?
I saw
For
13
maintenance,
as an
yearly
example.
maintenance fee.
I thought it was 12,000, but maybe.
It could be, somewhere in that range, though, 8 to 12.
Because I questioned it, and that's when the clerk came in and explained to us, we have to have the yearly maintenance, even though it,
Yeah, she came in.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's 13,000.
Because if you
much?
do a referendum vote or
13,000.
something, I suppose
The
it has to be
2024
ready to go.
maintenance was 13,000. And then Jody
Okay.
was looking through here for me while I was reading. And it looks like, and we would have had to purchase more since here, I believe. In 2007, we purchased 40 machines.
2007,
Yeah.
that's almost 20 years old. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess you need a motion to approve the purchase and the contract, correct?
I think we can do, let's do them separate.
Want to do them separate? Is there two different contracts
No,
there?
it's all
in
together.
one.
It is
It's
all the
all
same.
one.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
yeah.
we can do them together
So
then.
I'd make a motion to accept the purchase of the 84 machines along with the included service contract.
Okay, motion and second, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Motion carries. GAL, contract for services.
So this is a yearly thing. It's Corey Swager.
Guardian ad litem.
Yeah, the Guardian Mat Lighted charges for, he does for Circuit and Superior, the contract, and this is for 2025. It looks like,
And what's it called? The Guardian what?
Guardian ad litem
Oh, okay.
for all the Chin's cases.
Yeah, the chins. Yeah, I remember this. Okay.
It's
Corey's a good guy to work with.
41,000.
Yeah, he's been
Seems to be
great.
doing a good job there. And I didn't have any problem with the contract, I don't think. Yeah.
It's, he gets 41,000 for the year.
But he handles the majority. CASA doesn't do much in DeKalb County
Right.
like they do in the other 4
Right.
counties, so most of that falls on Corey to do.
And that's the exact same that he is getting paid for 24. He didn't change the price.
What do we get any reimbursement for that from the state or anything, or is that just?
Not on this one because it's not part of the public defender part.
Representing the parents is part of the public defender part, but not representing the kids.
Well, I'd make a motion to approve the GAL contract.
Second?
A motion and second, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same. Is approved. GL contract is approved. Okay. Maybe one more, Stan Energy addendum to add highway.
Highway Department to the contract.
Right. On the gas.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gas to
Yeah, the natural gas.
Gas.
Make a motion to.
Motion and second, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed. Is approved.
Okay, this pile, all of you sign. This pile is just for Bill.
Yes, for Bill.
A song that'll be in your head forever now, won't it? You remember that song?
Yep, from the,
Electric
oh,
Company, Big Bird or whatever.
Right, Sesame Street.
Yeah. I think of weird things.
Just make a pile.
Huh?
Just make a pile of them.
I'm just gonna keep it.
Okay.
Then we'll get an email, who's got my papers?
I'm watching.
She's putting air tags on anything she hands me anymore.
You're right. I'm
I
still
know
gonna
where
be-
you're at.
I'm still gonna be asking you next year.
She'll be tracking you.
Yeah.
I know you have it.
Okay, 9:30, Gallagher.
I don't see him quite yet.
Yeah. Seemed like that would have been better to do after the first of the year when you got 2 new commissioners, and seems like that would have been a better presentation after the first of the year with the 2 new commissioners to listen to it.
Yeah, well, we have one present at least to hear it, I guess, but I agree with you. I don't know why
Yeah.
because when's this insurance due?
There he is.
July.
He wanted in before the end of the year.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear it. I agree with Mike.
Yeah.
And I provided
Yeah, so
the presentation and the
Yeah.
handouts for everything.
appreciate that.
Got that. Okay, gentlemen, you are up.
Doing well.
Beautiful day, huh? Yeah, yes. Days like this, we're glad we're inside, not out working on some plumbing project or
Yeah, I agree with that.
building project. Oh, you're right on time.
Got caught downstairs.
Oh, no, you're right on time. Make sure those mics are on and pull them up close to you, if you would. We have a hearing deficient gentleman on the board. Yeah. Nice and close. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you giving time, Susan, putting us on the schedule. Good morning, Commissioners, Mr. Cruz. And who do we have here? Jody? Nice to meet you, Jody.
First deputy.
Okay, nice to meet you, First Deputy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm Tim Petrie, most everybody knows, Gallagher, third largest broker in the world. I have Mike Yoder from the benefits side. I'm gonna relinquish the
I can
baton.
take over. Good morning, everybody. Mike Yoder, originally from Fort Wayne, but now I lead our employee benefits practice for the state of Indiana out of Carmel, Indiana. As Tim mentioned, we're the third largest broker in the world. I know that the county and Gallagher have some history together, but just for the sake of, refreshers, I'll kind of give a high-level overview of Gallagher, our employee benefits practice, and I'll pass the baton back to Tim.
Mike,
Yep.
can you just give me a minute?
Yes, sir.
Do you guys realize that two of us will not be here next year and will have nothing to do with insurance? You have two new commissioners coming in?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep,
Just
yep.
appreciate everyone's time. And I think
Absolutely.
as in the world of all forms of insurance, right, it's not a conversation that just happens one time. It certainly is a conversation that happens throughout the year. And I think the more information that we can arm you with, both, members that are staying and new ones coming in, or just informing the community. We believe that healthcare starts with us, the people, right? And we're the ones responsible for changing that, especially in a government role. So appreciate everyone's time, and our goal here today is just education and kind of give you an overview of who we are, if there's ever an opportunity to come back.
And we do have one new commissioner in presence, Jim Miller. The other commissioner would have probably been here, but he's off sick.
No worries, appreciate that.
Yeah.
So quick high-level overview of Gallagher. We started in 1927 as a firm of one person, and I'm really proud of the story that we've built over almost the last 100 years. We've grown to now, as of last week, 72,000 employees across the globe. We'll do about $13 billion in revenue annually. And I think it's important for you all to know that, because while we are proudly global, we're fiercely local. I was the guy that forgot to take his cell phone out of his pocket this morning, but fortunately our office is about a 32-second jog down the street, so I was able to come back and forth before we were late for our time. So we are proudly global, but fiercely local, and I think we have the ability to bring these global resources down to the area where we think need it the most, and that's the small to mid-market. So a common theme that you'll hear throughout our presentation is data drives decisions, and we truly believe that. So when we're talking about the public entity space, specifically to the benefits side of the house, we represent over 3,000 clients across the country, specifically in your world. And when we look at more from a global picture, it's over 6,800. So what that means is when we're coming to you with recommendations, we're using benchmarking and insights from your peers across, not across the state, but across the country, and helping bring insights that are vital to helping control your rising healthcare costs. Some of the other things that we take a deep dive into are the actual plan performance, but also social determinants of health that could be impacting your population, things that a typical broker wouldn't be taking into consideration when we're talking about the millions of dollars that you're spending on your employees' healthcare. So that's a quick high-level overview of Gallagher from the from a employee benefits standpoint. One of the things that I would like to propose as we look into kind of the new generation coming in and an effort to hopefully identify some opportunities to save or reinvest back into your health plan. We've got a tool both on the employee benefits and the property and casualty side that we refer to as Gallagher Drive. What this does is it takes all of those things I just mentioned, your plan performance, it takes social determinants of health. We look at the strength of your contract through our forensic contract review process, and we measure all of these opportunities into an opportunities dashboard, if you will. And what that helps us do when we're sitting together as a team is identifying what's low-hanging fruit within your plan. Anytime we are proposing a change or something that would impact the plan, we're doing it with the mindset of how do we drive healthier outcomes within your population? how do we enhance the employee's experience by buying healthcare? And then if there are savings, how do we reinvest those back into the plan or into your people so that we can continue to drive positive outcomes? Some of these things that we'll take a look at and things that we specialize in are areas around direct contracting. For example, Cameron Hospital up in Angola, they are a recent client of ours, and we earned their business because they were interested in how do they go direct to employers and help drive healthier outcomes within the population. So when we're identifying these areas of opportunity, we're doing it with global backed resources and teams and trying to bring insight to you around what are areas that we can not only positively impact your people, but help create a more sustainable health plan for you and the folks that you represent. Tim, I'll turn it back to you unless there's any questions on the benefits side or anything that we can help clarify there.
Questions?
Well, and I reached out to Mike. I was online watching the commissioners meeting at the end of November. And Todd, I heard you mention benefits went up 30 to 50%. And I immediately reached out to Mike and was like, I think we have an opportunity in here to fix an issue, challenges that you guys are facing. So I hope that we can have a follow-up and kind of, like Mike said, take a deep dive into what those challenges are. Now,
And real quick to follow up on Tim's point, I will point out that the information that we would require to go through this type of analysis, it's incredibly easy information for you all to pull and provide. So we're not asking for a heavy lift. All we ask is for the opportunity to take a deep dive on it and then the opportunity to come back and present our findings.
All right.
So you would be proposing take us back to a traditional policy versus our self-paid policy, or self-insured policy?
we don't know.
Potentially. I think let's let the data tell the story and see what opportunities exist within your current setup today, or, potentially look at other alternatives.
One thing that I'm completely confused on, I explained earlier in the meeting today, we've spent $930,000 this year so far on drugs.
It was last year total.
Last year total, I'm sorry. Yet, when I go to get a prescription, I pay a $20 copay. From what I'm seeing on my app, our company's paying, let's say, $100 on top of that. That's $120.
Yep.
I hit GoodRx, $43 total all-in costs. I don't understand why our insurance company would pay $60 more, and then I pay another $20 on top of that versus me just showing that. I don't understand this pricing model. I don't understand the kickbacks. I don't understand what game's being played here, but it's ridiculous how these drugs are billed.
I agree 100%.
I need some transparency. If I'm going to change, I want to see some complete transparency.
Yeah.
If I can't see a transparency, I don't see a reason to, you know what I'm saying? There needs to be something spelled out next time if we're going to change.
You bring up
I'm just warning you forward.
You bring up a great point, and I think that goes back to the pharmacy benefit manager that's been selected for you all. And there are games that are being played when it comes to rebating and pass-through pricing or the transparency model. We tend to lean towards a pharmacy benefit manager that has the GoodRx type of program built into the contract. So when employees do go, that they're getting the GoodRx pricing, but the plan is benefiting from that. It's actually tracking towards their deductible, towards their out-of-pocket maximum. And so they're getting credit for being a smart shopper of healthcare. So those are the types of programs that we'd love to take a deeper dive on. And there's other programs that are with that pharmacy benefit manager that can really help employees get access to specialty care, specialty medications, which, as you all know, are traditionally extremely high, right? And so there are programs to do that where the member can actually benefit at a low or free drug, and the plan is saving so much money that you can incentivize them to go through those programs. So there's a ton in that area, and it is a bit of the Wild West right now. But when, on our pharmacy team alone, we've got 200 plus pharmacists on staff that are diving through the contracts and helping source out pharmacy benefit managers that are doing exactly what you're asking for.
Rick, introduce yourself to these gentlemen and
Rick Rang, I'm part of the DeKalb County Council. And I would ask you to please be careful here. We just went to a different program. And we do not have enough experience yet to be considering changing. And if we do, then I think there needs to be a committee of the commissioners and the council put together. Because the council should have a large say in this, especially since we're self-funded. And as far as this pharmacy issue exists with everybody. The one thing I just found out, because I had to renew my own Medicare policy for next year, the one drug that my wife is on for her back pain is not covered under anybody's formulary. The price on that drug is $1,800. If I go to GoodRx or whatever the one that Kroger uses now, the price is $353. And it's not coming from the local agents, it's not coming from anyone in particular other than the way this whole system is set up, and the whole system is messed up. It truly is.
It's kind of like when the hospitals bill those that have insurance more than if somebody has nothing, and then they're able to bill them less. They do the same thing with the meds.
I get what you're saying. What I'm saying is it's disgusting to me that our insurance pays more than what I can just pay cash for, sometimes triple. And it's like, wait, where's the
it's
kickback?
whoever negotiated what. It's the pharmacy managers. This thing has been going on for years now. It's not something that just come up.
Oh, no, I agree.
And it all needs to be looked at. But our current provider is also doing this right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So-
I'm sure.
thank you, Rick.
I'm just kind of disgusted because we did the self-funded thinking, well, it'll eventually save money, and we do need more experience, don't get me wrong, to know the trend. With that said, we're 2.5 times the cost of what we were just 4 years ago on our insurance.
And that's, I think, pretty much everybody's
You think so?
having the same issue.
Yeah.
But when we went to this current plan, we only had 6 months of experience.
Yeah, right,
So,
right.
the county was in such a deep hole when we were self-funded before. We're being extremely careful as to how we address any healthcare changes. And
Yeah.
we can't be changing programs every other year. I mean,
Oh,
you
I
don't
agree.
give anybody a chance to do anything with it.
I agree.
Well, and the concept was we would stick with self-funding maybe 5 years to see where it washes out, how it comes out. And it probably could still be the plan, of course, to stick with it. And until we have more experience.
Well, I think we definitely have more control if we are self-funded. But we also have to teach our people how to use the system.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
If, again, and I know, the one example I know of is you, Todd, I'm sorry. But if you had gone in and checked on one of the procedures that you had complained about,
I did.
you would have found out that it was cheaper in other places.
Actually, no, I didn't. I went to the Surest app, and it said that was my cheapest option. I even called Surest, said I'm having this done. Yep, that's approved, go ahead and get it done. There was no other alternative. Come to find out, if I would have asked the doctor that did the surgery, which I don't think to ask him directly,
Right. Well,
he
and
would have
that's a
cut me a
problem.
cash deal. He wouldn't have run it through insurance, it would have been a cash deal. And I thought, this is a scam. It'd be like you coming to buy a car from me. Well, for you, Rick, it's 100,000, but for Tim over here, it's 20,000.
And I was in healthcare for 38 years.
Yeah, it's insane.
I understand what they're doing, and it is totally messed up.
It's a
And
joke.
we do charge everyone else more because we're giving such big discounts to Medicare and Medicaid. I mean, Medicare, 50 cents on the dollar, maybe. Medicaid, 25 cents on the dollar. And so they're making it up on all those people that have insurance or those people that don't have any insurance, because they're the only ones that have to pay the full price.
Well, it's no different. You remember when before Obamacare came out, oh, your premiums are going to go down, you keep your doctor. My premium was $273 for my whole family a month with a $500 deductible. My newest quote was $1,800 a month for just me and my wife with a $18,000 deductible. And it's, I,
And I think that just in the recent news, they have started to say that Obamacare has been a failure. But
imagine
yet,
that.
nobody's willing to go in and make any changes to it.
I know, we're going in the weeds on this.
Let's get back on to the
But
presentation.
I'm sorry, guys. We're-
I would say, to Rick's point, there are a lot of people struggling with similar challenges, but you don't have to. We have solutions. We've got a number of case studies within our client base where they've stayed, their pharmacy spend as a percentage of total spend has stayed flat or decreased. If that's the, a particular area of concern, I would love to take a deeper dive into what are the claim drivers. You've already ripped the Band-Aid off and taken the risk of going self-funded. So now you're in the business of controlling claims, right? So how do we direct people to the highest quality, lowest cost facilities and help provide overall better quality of care and create a more sustainable plan?
Other big thing is I want to make sure whatever we do, it's very traumatic for our employees to change plans. If you're on a certain drug or if you expect a certain thing and then it all changes, that hurts them. So it has to be workable for everyone. But with that said, they also need to try to keep the cost down for us.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing, the anti-inflammatory drugs, the reason why I asked that from Dottie, a lot of that has to do with what we put in our mouths and eat and you inflame when you eat bad stuff and drink too much alcohol or whatever it might be. And we're all going to have to try harder, and it's just.
Well, I think that especially in this first 100 days, you're going to find a lot of those things.
No more good food, is there?
If Robert F. Kennedy Jr. gets it confirmed, you're going to find a lot of those things are coming to question. There was a story in the Wall Street Journal this morning about the infertility issues, and much of it being caused by either chemicals in beauty products or the chemical that lines the cans that we drink soda from, and eliminating all of those things. So there's going to be a big dive taken there. But if we do anything with our insurance, we need to please make sure you involve the council.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I believe that and Andrew can correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong because there's a debate going across the state right now. I believe that the decision is quite a bit of it is the council's decision as to those benefits. So make sure you please involve the council. So thank you.
Okay.
Time do we have,
So
Susan?
what are you exactly asking for today?
You're asking for an RFP, request for a proposal, like Mike said, take a deep dive into your benefits. I was going to present, how Gallagher can also improve your risk profile on the property and casualty side using the same analytical tools and platforms and the services that we provide and we've had for years and years and years of experience. There's practice groups. We insure 1 out of 5 public entities, whether that be cities, counties, school systems. So Gallagher has a history, and they do it very well. There's practice groups that I would like you guys to be involved in, where it's typically once a quarter. You get on the practice group, they tell you what's going on in the public entity world, specifically counties, cities, K through 12 public entities. There's a higher education, but that's totally separate. They go over if you have a lot of pain in your property. Last couple of years, you guys have got a 20-30% rate increase, $100,000 it constitutes to approximately, with no alternatives. Every year we have a process. We start 150 to 90 days out. We have a roundtable meeting. We get with our concierge. We get a strategy going. Do we retain the incumbent? Do we take a total market approach? Do we go specifically? Again, your property. It's upside down right now. It has been for the last 3, 4, 5 years.
But one of the things that's changing, though, that you got to realize part of the reason our premium's up or our assets have went up extensively, so we're insuring more.
Oh, absolutely.
The other thing is Sunny Meadows is a real problem for us on the liability standpoint. There's only one or two companies that'll even quote that due to the situation out there.
That current broker has access to.
I think even if you went to everyone you have, I bet you can't find more than two that would probably quote it, in my opinion. But maybe you can, but I'm told that it's just a horrible part of the pie that, it's just, it really limits the
Absolutely.
quotes.
I can imagine.
Have you researched that at all? Sunny Meadows,
Have I researched it all?
as far as what's available?
I have not seen that part of the policy structure. So they don't have access to the United Kingdom. Like I said, we're in over 150 countries. We have UK companies, we have Bermuda companies that are a little more laxed on their ratings, their pricings. So that's what the smaller local agencies and brokers don't have access to. That's why we are globally. That's why we want to take a deep dive into your policy. We want to bring those analytical tools. We want to bring you guys into the process of those practice groups. They write white papers. I mean, you guys have specific challenges, issues that are on paper that you guys can read. They put it out on either not only a monthly basis, depends on the market conditions we're in, but normally on at least a quarterly basis. So our intention here is to, Todd, I think the last time we met, is in all fairness, we are able to come in and present what we have available. And we'll show you that we have the markets that we have agreed upon rates that no other local company can get, because we have those markets, our top 25 markets that have agreed upon rates, agreed upon coverages. So
There's another tool that we have on the property and casualty side that has the ability to go in and show, if we have a list of your existing carriers and policies, we can compare that and benchmark that against the other public entities that we have. And it will compare from the markets and carriers that you're in today, where do you stack up against what, from an industry-specific standpoint, what the other markets are? If there's a mismatch there, we know there's an immediate opportunity, and we are a top rating broker with all of our all of our public entity carrier markets. So even if we have to go to Lloyd's of London, where we have an office within their building, we can go and get creative on the market standpoint, but I would love to just be able to compare where you guys are at today to where our clients are, and at least run through that analysis to show, hey, there is opportunity here, or if there's not, we'll be the first to come back and tell you and say, you guys are in the best spot. Typically, when we go through this, there's some things that we uncover, and that's not to, slap you on the wrist. It's say, hey, there's an opportunity to work together here and create a better outcome for everyone. Let's go ahead and start doing that process.
What do you think? Get a quote on.
How does that affect
Susan, hang on.
our others?
Hang on. We want to get a quote from these gentlemen on casualty and liability.
Well, here's
Is that where we're
my
at?
thing. Didn't we go through this before where you have to name them as agent of record to get the quote?
no, that's only if we were not the first in to attempt to get that proposal. Let me ask you a question. I'm curious. Did you guys ever see a proposal from Travelers?
No, what I'm saying is,
Right.
in other words, the way I understand this is for you to get quotes from all of the, let's say our current agent has 10 companies that they can quote, and let's say you have 13. You can only do those 3 that they don't already, that since they're our agent of record, they can go quote those 10, and you can't quote them unless we name you of agent of record, right?
No.
You can help in that process. So let's say let's start with the analysis, right? And let's say that we've got, of the carriers you're with today, there's maybe 3 that are mismatched, all right? So in that scenario, if you did want us to go out and get quotes, you can name each competing broker, their top markets that they request. So maybe the difference is, our top 3 are going to be the ones that we have in place across all public entities versus the ones where you're at today. That allows each broker to go out to their designated markets and go get quotes for you on, the lines that we're proposing. The other, if you wanted to do a broker selection process and say, before we get quotes, we want to choose a broker that, based on capabilities, resources, all of that, you would make that decision, and then that broker would go and have full access to the market. I think that's what you're referring to when you'd have to name that. So there's other ways to go about that if you wanted to see actual quotes. I think starting with an analysis to at least see where you guys stack up, and is that worth the council's time of going down the RFP process road? Is that worth it? If the analysis comes back and says maybe it is, then we can do a market assignment.
I would have no problem with an analysis. I just don't want a broker of record
Yes, absolutely
to,
not. Absolutely not.
but if you think you can do a preliminary analysis and say, here where you think your shortfalls all are, or, this doesn't look right, or that's information, but I wouldn't want to change broker of record at that point.
Yeah, I don't want to do.
That would be, I'd like to leave that up to Kellen and
Yeah, I'm
Miller.
not going to vote for anything today.
No, we're
This
not.
needs to be
Well, I think,
tabled until 25, till January, when
I
the new
think,
commissioners are sworn in.
can we agree to have them do the analysis?
I have a
I'm
question,
not-
that's
I'm
what
not
I
gonna
have
vote
a
for
question on.
anything.
Yeah, go ahead,
With
Susan.
whatever you do or don't have them do, how would that affect our current broker that when they do their quoting or whatever they do?
Well, that's what we're talking about. I don't want to do anything that's going to
impede them.
impede
But does the
insurance
analysis,
trustees.
will the analysis do anything?
No.
Analysis
them?
is just you reviewing our data, claims, what we have insured, all that.
Providing some insights, second opinion, things we would do differently if we were
Right.
working with you today.
Which I have no problem with that. I think more information the better. I just don't want to name agent of record with the new commissioners coming in. I don't think that's fair to them.
Absolutely, and to follow up with Mike and to explain clarity, the broker of record only happens when one broker reaches out to a carrier.
Right.
Okay, and then another broker reaches out to a carrier. That's the only time a
Right.
broker of record happens. So when we get, if and when we get the opportunity and the green light to go in with our top carriers, because again, like I told you, Travelers is one of our smart market carriers. They are one of our top carriers, and I think we should be able to show you the opportunity and what they can bring to the table and present.
I believe we had
And we can do,
Travelers. We had
We
Travelers.
switched over to Travelers. Mike and Kyle put that.
Yeah, I think we're on
program
Travelers
together.
currently.
We're with them now.
we are with Travelers.
We are with
Yeah.
Travelers now
Yeah.
on our liability, because they're one of the few that would quote Sunny Meadows. They were one of the two, I
They
think.
got an extension with Liberty Mutual.
Yeah,
until-
Liberty carried us until Travelers could pick it up.
Right.
They wrote a,
And Liberty's a great company, and that's why we
Yeah.
did that, absolutely.
that's why when you mentioned Travelers, I was saying that would be a direct competition with them, so you'd have to be agent of record in order to get the quote.
See, I wasn't aware that they took on Sunny Meadow, so I wasn't aware of that. That was never brought to
Yeah,
my
because Liberty Mutual initially was the only one that would, then Travelers stepped up.
Yeah.
Right, right?
We gotta
And
go
Michael
to
being
break.
the
Yep, that's
And,
fine, that's fine. And we have other top 25 carriers, so it's just, again, we'll wait till 25 to come in and see if we can do RFP, but in the meantime, let's take a deep dive and do an analysis if that's.
I'd have no problem with analysis.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I
With
want,
the P&C lines, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't, just for what it's worth, I would not advise doing anything with our health insurance broker until July 26th, which gives us enough history to get all this.
When is
straightened
our,
out.
when does that renew? It renews in July too, doesn't
July.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the health
it's
does,
July.
health insurance.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I think consensus to do the
Consensus,
analysis.
do
Do we need
analysis.
a motion?
Thank you.
Just consensus.
get with Susan and
Or,
the information that we'll need to take a deep dive. Okay?
I can't promise it will be fast. It's year end in the audit.
Oh, I get it. I get it.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. This is,
but again, to be clear, I don't want anything to affect our current broker situation.
No, I agree with that.
Or hog tie them.
Well, we haven't made any motion to that, so
No, right.
we're good there.
absolutely. Nope.
Certainly not the intent. Thanks, everybody, for your time.
Thanks,
Very
guys.
transparent, very
Yep.
transparent.
Appreciate it.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you for your time.
Have a great day, guys. Yep. Nice to meet you, Mike.